Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning, episode 470, back on the topic of the NFL. Today, Jay and I are bringing you one of our NFL Would You Rather, something we haven't done in a while, but it's a fun little NFL thing we do. So we're going to be looking at some scenarios and what would we rather have as an outcome for that. But first, question of the day, and that is who holds the single season passer rating as a quarterback record in the NFL? And I'll give you a hint, the same guy has the first and second on the all-time list. Again, if you know the answer, comment below. And if you don't, stick around to the end of the video, and we'll discuss it then. But Jay, give me your first scenario, and I'll tell you what I would rather happen.
All right, so if you're an NFL team that is just pretty much one good quarterback away from taking the next jump and becoming a Super Bowl team, such as the Dolphins, if they didn't have Tua and they had Rodgers instead, or the Colts or the Rams this past year, you're one quarterback away. Would you rather make the Matt Stafford trade or the Carson Wentz trade? So you get Matt Stafford, but you give up 2 firsts and a third, or you get Carson Wentz and you give up just a third and just a second.
I'd rather give it all up and get Stafford. I think Stafford's the better player. I think Stafford has more talent, and we have never seen Stafford succeed in the playoffs. Yes, but we've never seen him have his season as bad as Wentz just did. So I think, especially the situation with the Rams having one of the best defenses in the league, despite the loss of Johnson at safety and
Troy
Hill, yes, to the Browns. So they have lost a couple key guys. I do think the Rams have one of the best defenses. So for that specific case, I think the Stafford trade wins. And in general, I'd take Stafford even if I have to give up more.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go opposite. Both have risks. The Stafford trade has risk in sacrificing your future, but the Wentz trade has risk in not knowing what Wentz is. Is he going to get injured? Is he going to be the same guy he was last year? Is he going to be the MVP form? I'm going to go Wentz. I just think he was in a terrible situation last year, and even if he turns out to a bust, your entire future is not sacrificed. So I got to go with Wentz.
All right. For my first scenario, I do think Deshaun will be traded eventually. He's got to get out of there, and I've kind of narrowed it down to the Jets or the Dolphins making the trade for him. So between those two teams, who would you rather see make the trade?
I'd rather see Deshaun Watson go to the Miami Dolphins. Growing up, I was more a Miami Dolphin fan, so there's a biasness there. But really, Deshaun, if I want the best for him, Miami is where he's going to win it. Now he would have Will Fuller, he'd have Devontae Parker, he'd have Mike Gesicki, and he'd have a top 5 defense. If he goes to the Jets, he'd be in a similar situation. Long term, the Jets could become a great team. But as of right now, that is not in a winning situation by any means. I think Deshaun might have another 4-12 season if he went to New York. However, he did like Robert Saleh, but I think he would value winning over a coach, and I think winning would be with the Miami Dolphins.
I do certainly think that he goes to Miami. That's a AFC Championship-bound team. Mm-hmm. But my selfish answer is going to be going to the Jets because they would get a higher draft pick. Yeah, as a Texans fan, he goes to the Jets. The Texans get a second overall pick. Likely they would trade that pick. So I would say to the Jets because I want the Texans to have a higher draft pick, but I certainly agree that Deshaun to the Dolphins would work out better for Deshaun.
Yeah, from the Texans' perspective, I really can't argue with
100%.
that.
Give me another one.
If you are starting an NFL team again, don't worry about the price. They're going to cost the same. Would you rather build around the team of Tua Tagovailoa or Jared Goff? If you guys watch the channel, you know we're not big fans of either.
Goff. I really want to say Tua, but in the end, Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl before. Jared Goff, while I might not be the most talented guy, he's shown he can manage the game well enough to get a team with a good defense to the biggest stage in the NFL. And Tua, of course, there's a lot of issues with him. Players saying they'd rather play for other quarterbacks. Just him throwing for 90 yards and a half. All this, Tua's young. This is really, I don't know why. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'd rather go Jared Goff.
Yeah, I would have to agree, honestly. Looking at Tua, I still don't think he could take a hit. I still don't know if we know what he is. We saw Ryan Fitzpatrick bail him out without that safety blanket. I don't know what he is.
This could sound really stupid halfway through the year if Tua's a starter and he's doing well, but I think I'd have to go Goff.
But Jared Goff, he doesn't win the big ones, but he does win football games, and I got to go with that. And I just think he has a better frame and better, I don't know, potential. We've kind of seen his potential, but I just don't believe in Tua long term.
All right. My next scenario, because of you guys, him and I have become pretty good Chargers fans. We like the Chargers fans, but when it comes down to it, he's a Bucs fan. I'm a pretty big Bucs fan. So, would you rather see the Chargers win this year's Super Bowl or Bucs go back to back?
Oh God, the Chargers fans are gonna kill me.
Yep.
But I can't go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'd love to. Oh my God, anyone that's not a Bucs fan or even a Patriots fan, you probably despise Tom Brady with your entire life.
Right.
And if Herbert made it all the way, you'd hate him even more if Brady took him out. But I have to see the Bucs go back-to-back. I have to see Brady get 8. I want to see all those guys get one more ring. Chargers, I hope they make the Super Bowl, and I'm rooting for them against anyone but the Buccaneers. I got to go with the Bucs.
So in this scenario, yes, it hurts to say not the Chargers, but I got to go Bucs. Bucs, Tom Brady would just make his story in the NFL that much cooler, which can't really get much cooler, but it could if he wins another one. And all those guys on that team, the fact that they put the same team practically back together, I have to go Bucs, even though it hurts to say.
All right, so you're, again, starting another NFL team. For your head coach, 2 guys that haven't head coached in the NFL before, are you hiring Brandon Staley, the Chargers' current head coach, or Urban Meyer for the Jaguars? Not assuming the team they are, just a right team. You don't know what they got.
I'm gonna go Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley's proven to be a good coordinator. I think I'm gonna take, if you're looking at the resume, championship college coach versus best defense in the league NFL coordinator. I think the credentials are there with Staley. Obviously, crossing college coaches with the NFL doesn't always work. I don't know who's the coach for the Panthers right now.
Oh, the guy from Baylor.
From Baylor, hard situation, but he didn't do great. We know
Rule or something.
There you go, Matt Rule. Yes, we know Nick Saban didn't work out well in the NFL, but then again, Jimmy Johnson, coach from Miami, worked good in Dallas. So there's a lot of questioning there. But I'm definitely going to Brandon Staley. He's shown success in the NFL, so of course I'm going to just take him as my head coach over
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Like you said, the transition doesn't always work. Yeah, Pete Carroll came from USC, but he still had NFL experience being a positional coach. Urban Meyer, nothing. He wasn't a player.
He was a top coach at OSU and at Florida. Totally different career, so he's definitely proven he can coach good in college. But
in my opinion, Urban Meyer might also be too biased. I feel like he won't be open-minded. I feel like he will have his head set on a guy if he wants him and not be open-minded I'm not saying he's a complete asshole, but I do think he's just a little biased. And Brandon Staley, I think he's very open-minded. We know what he couldn't do with defense, and he's an ex-quarterback in high school. Not that will transition to the NFL, but he could definitely coach both sides of the football, in my opinion.
Absolutely. All right, my next scenario. So this is a very talent-heavy draft coming up in April, and specifically with quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. Of those, 4 quarterbacks, which would you rather see have the best NFL career?
It's weird that I'm rooting for Trevor Lawrence because he's, the pretty boy. I don't know why, but Justin Fields really don't care about. Zach Wilson, I don't know about. I just got to go for Trevor Lawrence. The biggest reason I like him is because I feel like Alabama is the Patriots of college football. No one really likes him, and he was the one guy that absolutely spanked them in the college football national championship, and ever since then I've been rooting for him, and I hope he can turn around the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'd have to go Trevor Lawrence as well. There's so much hype about him, but he's a good guy. He's never done anything, not that we know of, wrong off the field. He's not an asshole on the field. He's just a guy you want to root for. And the same goes for these other guys. Trey Lance is kind of some underdog story from North Dakota State, Division II. So I'd like to see him succeed. Zach Wilson is a guy that I see as this pretty boy type of thing from BYU. And then, of course, Justin Fields, actually, I'm not a huge fan of him just because of my bias against OSU I don't like. But if I'm going to choose one that I'd love to see succeed, I'm going Trevor Lawrence.
Sound good? Keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
All right. Us being Buccaneers fans, would you rather the Buccaneers go to the Super Bowl again against the Kansas City Chiefs but lose? Or would you rather see the Kansas City Chiefs make it and the Rams make it, but the Rams beat them? So Bucs loss or Rams win over the Chiefs?
I would 100% rather see the Rams beat the Bucs in the NFC and go all the way because I think Tom Brady's already proven he head-to-head with the new upcoming GOAT. He's beaten him. I would hate to see that happen again. Yeah. Then that gets undone, even though Tom Brady's going on 44, so I don't think it can be undone. But I think that then there would be a lot of talks about, okay, maybe Mahomes is the GOAT, and I don't want to see that. I want Tom Brady solidified as the GOAT forever, so I'm going to say I'd rather see him just miss the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you kind of stole my take. I completely agree. Nothing really against it at all.
All right, one more for me. Similar situation, but with the Green Bay Packers. Would you rather see Aaron Rodgers and the Packers go back to the NFC Championship and lose, or miss the playoffs completely?
Ooh.
Tank.
Realistically, I just don't see them missing it, so that's hard.
Okay, let's consider it as just lose earlier in the playoffs. Go out in the wild card round, because that is bold to say they will miss the playoffs completely.
Oh God, Aaron, he's already made 5 NFC championships. He's 1-4.
Yeah.
It would not look good to lose again by any means, but I'd have to go NFC Championship. Rodgers still needs to show that he has the talent and show that he still has it, and not make everyone believe, oh, Jordan Love was the right move. Rodgers is the guy. I don't care what Jordan Love is. He's a guy, and I need to see him at least show it.
So he's already kind of developed the I don't know what you say, the quality of losing NFC Championship games.
Yeah.
So I think going to another one and losing doesn't really change much. And I think any NFC Championship, I guess the argument that I was going to say any NFC Championship with Aaron Rodgers is going to be competitive. But you go back to 2019 against San Francisco, that was definitely not the case. But I do think having Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game makes for a competitive game for the most part. So I'd rather see him go back and lose. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, so I don't want to see him fail, but I'd rather see him go back and then fall short.
Yeah, I mean, every other year, I think me and you both liked Aaron Rodgers until Tom Brady came and we for him in the NFC. So,
right.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady was out of the equation with the Bucs last year, I would have rooted Packers all the way.
Yeah,
100%. All right, guys, that's all for the video. And on the note of the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers, your single-season passer rating record is Aaron Rodgers, and I believe at 122.5. And again, he's second on all-time list at 121.5, and that was last year. Guys, thanks for watching. 2-minute warning.